1 second. 1 second. Your sound is not registering on the thing. So let me have a look. It's always a good start, this. It's always a good start. You're on screen, but they can't hear you. Okay, now we're good.
Help.
Yeah.
Okay, you can hear me, yeah?
Yeah.
We're all good to go. Right,
good to go.
Yes, people. Well, it's probably a good thing you couldn't hear me because I did say it was a breaking news show. So it's the Arsenal preview and a breaking news show. We've got some little bits on Dean Henderson, potentially leaving the club, Eric Bailly, Telles, back on. Andy Langer, here we go as well. We're going to discuss that. And it's the return of King of the Hill as well. So like I said, make sure you are getting involved in the comment section. Leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And let us know what you're up to this weekend as well. If you've got any exciting plans, aside from watching us, of course, do get them in the comments and let us know. You don't want to know my plans for today. It's been a hectic day for most people. So we'll just dive straight into the Arsenal preview. Welcome to Dan and Sam. Sorry, I've not really introduced you, but we move. So we play Arsenal tomorrow, lads, in New York at the MetLife Stadium. In any other circumstance, obviously, this would be a massive game for both teams. Dan, how would you reflect on both sides heading into this season? After the season that Arsenal have just had and we've had, what are you expecting from them and what are you expecting from us?
To be honest, I think both of the team has got a couple of new players in the team, and they are still trying to fit the players into the right positions. And but both of the team has looked promising, to be honest. But I think from Arsenal perspective, they are trying with the senior players, but on the other side, our side, I think we are still trying the youth players. That's good for us as well, because we have to finalize some of the youth players who needs to be part of the senior team, and the others need to be sent out on loans. So we are still yet to sort that portion of that. But yeah, we have a lot of games to play in the preseason. So I think it would be good for everyone to get a chance and prove themselves who can be the part of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when we cast our minds back to the games last season, I know this is pre-season, it's not a league game, but you can kind of take some things out of that. What did you like and dislike about them games in particular, the home and away game, if you can remember them?
The home game, we totally shocked them because we were walking into that game with 2 losses on the bounce, Brighton and Brentford, and we're like, this is going to be a long season, and none of us were expecting to go in there and beat them, and it's just we shocked Arsenal. Ten Hag started that famous record at home, we carried on from there. So we sort of played counter-attack football almost. We let them have the most of the ball, push up in front of us, and then we just countered and took them out. 2 easy goals. Great goal from was it Sancho who scored against Arsenal?
I'm trying to think back. So they was playing a really high line, weren't they? Like the defenders were really high. I think Rashford scored. Rashford scored 2.
Was Sancho the one where he dinked back like a few times? Or was that the Liverpool game?
No, that was Liverpool game. That was Liverpool game. I was trying to think who scored because we beat them 3-1, didn't we?
Yeah.
I'm sure Rashford. I know Rashford scored 2, but I can't remember who scored the other one for the life of me. I'll have a look at that actually. But yeah. Go on.
So yeah, that really good thing. And then even at the Emirates, I thought we were really, really good. I thought we were missing Casemiro in that midfield because that was the big talk all before the game because of the suspension. And I thought we really, really missed him. But I thought we were solid through most of the game. I thought we were good. We offered a lot going forward. I thought if we had that little bit of extra quality, we probably could have snatched a draw, if not beat them. Aaron Gregory in the chat, Anthony, yes, he's got.
I was just about to say that on his debut. Yeah, I don't know how I forgot that, and he was like,
"That's the one." But yeah, and I think even at the Emirates, we were good for the thing, and it was 3-2 in the end. I don't think there was any shame in that. Could we have won that? Absolutely. I just think on another day it goes our way, but I don't think we were blasted by them by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
So I think this season they've recruited well, like Jorian Timber, very good player. Declan Rice, good player. Is he worth 105 million? Probably not, but he's a good player. Now they have no excuses. They've spent more than any other team in the past, I think, 8 years.
650 million, yeah. I think it is.
They spent more than any other team, so they have no excuses now. No excuses. They have to win something and win something big. Champions League, the league, or something like FA Cup and Carabao Cup ain't gonna cut it. Because
What do you expect them to do though this season?
I'm really tricky.
Do you think they will?
It's really, I really don't know with Arsenal. I'm really sort of
Weird one, isn't it?
trapped. I'm like, they could either go on now and kick on and do really fucking well.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll touch City. I think City will just absolutely blow away with the league again, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I think they can either do really well, or things might just not click this year, and they might sort of lose some sort of momentum. I think they're a bit short in the striker situation. I think if Jesus goes down again, they may have an issue there. But I think the rest of the team, they have upgraded. Timber's a definite upgrade. Declan Rice is an upgrade. Kai Havertz is questionable. I don't rate him. I don't rate him at all.
Yeah, there's a mixture of
65 million. 65 million for him as well.
Yeah.
I know there's that
famous
clip going around, didn't he, of the heads and volleys challenge where he didn't hit a single one. But, he did score. He did score yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before?
Yeah. So, and against the MLS All Stars.
So I think it could go either way with Arsenal. I'm hoping it doesn't go well personally, just because it'd be funny. But I think it could go either way. It could either go really well, or it could go disastrous. I'm not sure which one. They could have like a Liverpool or a Chelsea season this season, or they could push a little bit further than they did last season and not capitulate at the end. So could be interesting.
Yeah. One thing I'd say about that game in the Emirates as well, very good game. I think Nketiah scored in like the 90-odd minute, wasn't it? But the first half, I thought United were a better team. Yeah. Sandro scoring his first goal as well, which is why I'll always remember it.
Was that the bandage?
Yeah, he had the bandage on. And he reminded me of thing out of Ice Age. He's got wearing like the eye patch. But he scored, and Rashford scored my favourite goal of the season. I think I put on a thing where he like chops inside through Partey's legs. And then just rockets it in the bottom corner.
Across the ground, wasn't it?
Yeah,
like,
skidded across the ground. It was like, honestly, absolutely beautiful. So who knows? Could see a game like that tomorrow, depending on who plays. What kind of senior players are you expecting to see tomorrow, Dan? Do you think? Because there's quite a few of them back now, isn't there?
Yeah, I think the defense will be the senior ones to place to start the game, I believe, and maybe a couple of midfielders. I think Casemiro, the main one, to start, and maybe they will juggle around with the other attacking midfielders. And but on the striking attacking role, I think still again they'll start and play a couple of youngsters to check, because they are yet not decided like whether we are going to keep them or play them in the next season. So I think it's gonna be the senior on the defenders side. Midfielders will be like a combination of senior and youth players. And I think in the forward lineup, I think only Rashford may start and others youngsters may start. So I think it's going to be a blend of youngster and senior players.
Interested. Excited to see Onana, Sam. I think he's supposed to be playing, or at least maybe a second half. So excited to see what he can offer.
Absolutely. He seems very confident. Like from everything he's spoken about, he doesn't seem like he's phased at all. Which I love it. I fucking love that, because he's such. I don't want to slag De Gea off too much, but De Gea didn't have that aura, that sort of Schmeichel, Van der Sar presence, did he? Like he had great moments, and he saved us a lot and had some fantastic saves, but he didn't have that presence. Like when you watch, I know Schmeichel's a little bit before your time, Nick, but like when he was like absolutely bollocking players, like defenders in front of him. Like he was like this close away from smashing them in the face. Like that was how it. Van der Sar was a little bit quieter, but you saw him shouting. He commanded his.
But you had that thing about him anyway. You just knew,
And I think I sent it into the group chat today. I watched rewatched an interview before the Champions League final, and somebody asked him about Haaland. Are you afraid of him? And he's like, Haaland, like the player, and he's just like, no, why would I be afraid of him? And he's just like, he's just a man. And he's just like, the only person I'm afraid of is God, and he's not on the pitch. I'm like, I'm fucking here for this guy. I like this guy.
Like Roy Keane says, isn't it? Show a bit of character. Show a bit of character.
Like he doesn't give a shit, and I like that. I like that confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. Equally, excited about Andre Onana, Dan, and what he can bring to see a new signing, because the games themselves, they haven't been amazing, have they? They've been a little bit on the boring side. So to get them new signings in, at least it's a focal point to look at, and with the big players coming back as well.
Yeah, definitely, because even though Varane and Martinez were there in the back line, but still there was a bit of, the lack in confidence from the connection between the goalkeeper and the defenders. But now I think with Onana coming in, I think that will give a boost in the confidence for these defenders also uh, to make space for themselves, because you know that Onana is like a player who can play like sweet passes to those players who are open, and which was lacking in when De Gea was there. So I think definitely that will bring a boost in the confidence for the on-field players, especially with the attackers. They will be looking out for long passes from Onana now. When De Gea was there, they were not moving that much whenever the goalkeeper has the ball. But now, I think with Onana coming in, he will demand players to make the way for themselves so that Onana can pass them the ball. And I think definitely he is like an anti-press kind of a goalkeeper, because you know that how cool and calm he looks whenever there is a press towards the defense side, and that's going to be a so plus point for us. And in the coming season, I think that it itself is a big boost for all the defenders as well.
100%. And in terms of our pre-season record, I say record, we've got 2 wins, 2 clean sheets so far pre-season. Arsenal have drew 1 and beat the MLS All-Stars 5-0. So we can't read too much into that. But just a general question for next season. Again, gun to your head, this question for both of you. And to the chat as well. We'll get into your comments in a second. Who will finish higher next season, Arsenal or United?
United.
As easy as that, you think?
Yeah.
Because Arsenal do have European football. I know we have it as well, but we was kind of juggling that last season with Vegas up top. Arsenal invested well. They've got Declan Rice in there now. Maybe be a bit more sturdy in MOE. I don't know. What do you think, Dan? What's your heart saying?
Don't do it, Dan. Don't do it, Dan.
My heart will always say United, but my head says...
head, that's what I meant, yeah.
Sometimes, I think it's going to be a very tough fight between United and Arsenal, but I think Arsenal may edge ahead of us. But if we get a very good striker, then I think we are head on it with the teams like City. But that's the only concern with this striker situation for me.
Nice. Should we get some comments, Sam? Because there's quite a few. Yeah.
Let's have a gander. Evening, lads. Happy Friday for Brian Casey. He's around. He's alive. It's good to see. It's good to see. We don't have to send out the search party. Anonymous Bango. Good evening, lads and ladettes. Hashtag Sam Fan Club. He's always around, mate. He's always around. When we were talking about the goals, Anthony scored on debut. Shah, Sam and Aaron Gregory, Real Reds Ultra. Shout out to them in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Brian Casey, I think we've made better signings, especially in terms of systems. It's a good point. He also says we're finishing second this season. Liverpool would be there along with Chelsea. Arsenal will struggle to get in the top 4.
Big call.
Yeah. Another Spango, Bruno just tweeted a video of him talking about being announced as new captain. I've not seen that yet. I need to check that out.
I've seen it.
I'll have
I watched it.
Aaron, still feel like they lack a 20-goal season striker after that to keep them going. Jesus ain't that guy. Right, yeah, I got to agree. He also says Dan is looking in better shape than his double at the moment.
Yeah, we were saying that before we went out live. I was like, have you done something with your camera? He said, I've just had a wash. I mean, Casemiro, if you're watching, mate, have a wash.
Yeah.
Sort it
out. And then Shah Sam and Sashwin Paul are both saying United to finish above Arsenal. So,
interesting. A lot of people are positive about this season. I think it's going to be tough, you know. I really, really do. I think if Poch can sort Chelsea out, they've already got rid of, obviously, loads of deadwood. They've brought in some really talented players. Newcastle will be there or thereabouts. They've made some signings. Tonali, Joe Linton, and what's his name? Gomares is a midfield. Fantastic. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of tough teams there. I think, like, top 6, like, that'll be difficult to get in there, to be honest with you.
It's the top 5 for Champions League now, isn't it? There's an extra place.
Is that this season?
Yeah. So
I thought that was next season.
No, so it's like an extra Champions League place. So it's top 5 now this season. So there's an extra spot there for somebody. And is it this season the new format of the Champions League, or is it next season?
I thought that's what I mean. System? I thought that was next season. Yeah. I don't know, but I'm sure someone in the chat will know anyway, to be honest with you. But that is interesting. For sure. Top
Anonymous Mango says we'll get to the semi-finals of the Champions League and top 3. That is a big call. Semi-finals.
I've seen a lot of theories out there. A lot of people talk about Champions League, saying it's probably easier to win than the Premier League just because of what the traction that City are on at the minute. There's not the teams in Europe aren't popping as much. I don't know what.
you can luck your way through the Champions League. Chelsea did it. They had a poor season when they won the Champions League like 3 years ago.
Tottenham did
They had a shit season and they looked the way through it. You can do that like all the time. Liverpool did it. Didn't they finish like 5th or something? And they won the Champions League. So you can have poor league seasons and get your way into a Champions League final.
This season we have so many. I mean, when we are in Champions League now, we have very experienced players from the Champions League as well, with Casemiro, Varane, even Martinez with Ajax, and so Eriksen also with Tottenham, and now
Onana.
Mount's won a Champions League.
Onana is there. Yeah. So we have these type of players who have really performed really like great in those competitions.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
Brian Casey, Newcastle and Brighton could struggle. Now they have European football. Yeah, they didn't have that last season, and they flew in the season. But now they've got a double duty of that again, so that could be tricky. Ultra Lord, we will end second with 3 points behind Man City, and we'll win the FA Cup. I'll take that. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, we'll remember these. We'll remember these predictions. Make sure you do leave a like on the video, by the way, and subscribe if you're new to the channel.
There's a couple of new people in the chat that I've not seen before, so please do subscribe if you're new. We'd love to have you. So
Yes, and check us out on other socials as well: Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We've got stuff popping off over on them social channels, so do leave us a follow. The main question I wanted to ask, sorry, to you guys and to the chat as well: score prediction for tomorrow's game against Arsenal. Again, I appreciate it's pre-season. There's going to be mix-ups. There's going to be players chopping and changing, so it's hard to predict, but just give us your honest assessment.
It's tricky, isn't it?
I'll go with 2-2 draw.
Okay, I think that's what I predict. Yeah,
should
I think 2-2 draw.
Should we try and predict the 11 and see who gets closest?
Okay, yeah, I like that. That's a very good shout. Who wants to go? Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Yeah, I will go. I think the goalkeeper's hard because I think
Kovar's not gone, has he?
No, Kovar's not gone, and then Henderson's there, and Tom Heaton's there, and then obviously Onana's there.
Is Bishop there as well?
But maybe, yeah. So, but I don't think Onana would start. I don't know. It's hard. Right, I'll just go for it. I think. I'll fuck it. I'll go Onana to start for 45 minutes. I'll go Wan-Bissaka at right back. Varane, Lissandro. Shaw comes back in. Oh, did they start Casemiro or does Kobe Mainoo start? I'm going to go strong. I'll go basically our 11 that we'd think. Casemiro, Mount, maybe Bruno. Bruno Fernandes, obviously a new captain. And then front three of Antony, Sancho, Rashford, I think. And that's the way it goes.
I agree with all of that, but I would take Sancho out and put Garnacho in.
Oh, Garnacho, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Interesting.
That would be my 11.
Dan?
I'll predict what it could be. I think Tom Heaton will start as goalkeeper because Cover has not been in the squad. I think Onana, maybe he'll come back he'll get a chance in the second half with the back four of Martinez, Varane, Wan-Bissaka. Is Luke Shaw still there with the team?
Yeah,
he's there. He's there.
Okay, I think Luke Shaw will start this game, and on the midfield part, I think Mino will get another chance to start with Bruno Fernandes, and it's a tricky one, the third one. I think Mason Mount will start. On the attacker side, I think Ahmad will get another chance with Sancho on the left and maybe Rashford as attacker.
I like it.
A couple of people have put their 11s in, so let's read them out. Mango is saying Onana, Dallo, Varane, Martinez, Shaw, Casemiro, Bruno, Mount, Anthony, Rashford, Sancho, which is what you said.
Dallo.
No, you said Wan-Bissaka, didn't you? Yeah. Dallo. Is he still on holiday, by the way? I've not seen Dallo.
Well, he announced he's having a kid, didn't he, recently?
Yeah, maybe they gave him a break or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Brian Casey saying Onana, Wan-Bissaka, Martinez, Varane, Shaw, Mount, Casemiro, Bruno, Sancho, Anthony, Rashford. So yeah, that's your team, innit? So he's done the same as you. Gray's in the chat. Shout out to Gray with his new username he plays in the Cosmos. And then a couple of scores. Scoreboard saying 4-4. Interesting score. And then Aaron Gregory saying 1-1. Anonymous Mango, the club have just released Onana training photos. Excellent.
Yeah.
News.
Yeah. We've seen them. Interesting. I hope it's a fiery game because fuck me, the last 2 ones have been shit, really.
Second half.
Yeah, like the first 10, 15 minutes have been like a rocket, and we're like, oh my god, we could score here, could score a couple, and then it dies down. Second half, heavy rotation, not much going on, but then the youngsters score one, or there's a couple. You know, obviously we had Volley Van der Beek, didn't we, score in the last game, which was probably the best thing that happened in it. So very, very interesting. 25 people in the chat. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel. If you want to become a Real Red Ultra member, please click the join button next to the notification bell, or the link should be in the description. So click that and become a part of us. 13 of us so far. I'm going to shout out a couple of the members actually because I keep remembering to do this. But Grey 100, Prabav, Chloe Rhodes, Rubber 2908, Shah Sam, Brian Casey, Amy Rourke, Aaron Gregory, of course, legend, Brandon, Mark E, and the others. You already know who they are as well. So big shout out to you guys and the reason why we do it. Unless we've got any more comments, we can move on to the second kind of topic of the show.
Just one from Aaron. Donny got one more bag to carry now. We've signed Onana. Poor guy.
Yeah, one more thing to add on. Like, I would like to see our, the senior attackers to score goals, because till now we haven't seen. We have only scored 3 goals, and out of those 3, 2 are from the youth players and 1 from Donny.
Yeah, we had who scored so far? Emeran, that's it. Sorry, Emeran, Hugo, and Donny. They're the scorers, aren't they, so far? Which I don't think any of them will probably be in a matchday squad by next season. But anyway, let's talk about players actually not being in the matchday squad. There's been a lot of news today surrounding Henderson, Ilanga, Tellez, Eric Bailly, Nottingham Forest. We had the here we go on Anthony Ilanga, £15 million. We know they want to sign Dean Henderson as well. I'm not sure if that's going to be done quickly. There's a couple of discussions around that. Al Nassir, Fulham, and Al Etifak, I think he's pronounced it. I've asked
Steven Gerrard's. That's Steven Gerrard's team, isn't it? Yeah. There's the one Jordan Henderson's gone to, I believe.
Is it?
Steven Gerrard.
Benzema has gone there? Or he has gone to
I don't know. I have no idea. Someone put it in the chat the other day saying we sold to Al Randomer, Al this, Al that, and I was laughing at it. I don't know the names. And then we've had the Tellez deal, which a lot of people kind of got a little bit scared on, that they weren't going through. Initially, it was 4 million, but apparently the Tellez move's going ahead now for £6 million. I think that team missed out on Diaby, who's Aston Villa have just signed, so maybe that means that they've got more money in the pot to sign him. I think something along the lines of that. So that's where we're at with that. But first and foremost, if we can move on these 4 players, Dan, it's obviously great news, right? Good for the good old bank.
Yeah, because there have been rumors that we need to sell players to buy players. So I think that's a good part on that. But still, it's not a huge amount we are getting from these players. But with Tellez, somewhere around 6. With Elanga, I'm actually happy with that price tag. I mean, 15 million is a good for Elanga. And I think for Henderson, it will be interesting to see how much he goes in. But I saw the rumor that still Nottingham are looking for a loan move for Henderson. I'm totally against that.
I thought that.
Yeah. So we'll get somewhere around 30, minimum 30. I mean, if you include Henderson, you may get somewhere around 45 in total. I mean, including all the other players, 45. So I think that can be a huge boost in buying the other players, especially for the strikers. So I think it's going to be a very. I know even we have a couple of more players in Fred, and maybe a couple of more players to generate that amount, some more amount to buy a couple of more players, like maybe to put some amount in the Amrabat deal. So I think it's a very good start, and actually it is moving quicker than I thought, because today everything was fueling up like anything. All the 3 deals are like moving in, and
well, that's the issue, Dan. You don't with United. You don't get it's all in clumps, isn't it? Like everything seems to be together. Like we're not selling anyone. Very quiet, tumbleweed going past the road, and then bang, 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 bang. Henderson, Ilanga, Bailly, Tellez, like what's going? It makes it impossible for us because we've got shows where they're like an hour and a half when we're trying to get through stuff. It's a nightmare, man.
Yeah, to be honest, we are not used to these type of situations where we see like 3-4 players running with on a deals. So yeah, if it happens soon, then we'll make a soon decision on the striker as well as on the extra player like in Amrabat. So it's to be honest, at least from the weekend, we should at least move 2 players out so that to make some space to at least to start a talk for the next incoming player.
Absolutely. Just on Ilanga, Sam. First and foremost, good deal. Do you think the move and the price tag? And then the second one, we've always said on this channel, haven't we, that we look like the guy seems to work really hard, but the quality was never really more of an athlete player, wasn't he?
Yeah, like I think it was Jay Motti, friend of the channel. He put a tweet out, and it's like it sums it up really. He said like I think it was how many he's played like 40 plus games for us, and he scored like 6 goals.
Yeah,
like it's just not good enough, man. Like it's just not good enough, and it's not like he hasn't had a run in the team like under Ollie and Ragnick. He was
Ragnick especially decent under Ragnick.
He was playing every single week, and like you said, he works hard. Seems like a really nice guy. Really like. I mean, I've started to question that in recent weeks with who he's been hanging out with, but we'll that's by the by. But 15 million. I put when I put a post out on our YouTube before about the deal. Somebody like putting it, oh, that's a bit low. I don't think so. I think 15 million is a decent price for him. Like
it's weird.
He's a first teamer. He's an international for Sweden. Like he has some quality. He's just not good enough for United. And like if you start trying to charge 25, 30 million for Ilanga, nobody's buying him. Like nobody's buying him. So,
but I think we was initially lowballing it as well because we know how shit we are at selling players. I think initially we were all like 8 to 10 million because what are United going to do? We usually sell players for that.
Yeah, to be honest, he has not been part of the team. I mean, he's not been playing regular football with us. Maybe at the time of Ragnick, he was more regular, but now for the last 1 year, he hasn't played much football. And to be honest, in Oli and Ragnick time, he may have a good boost in his play because Ole and Ragnick, I mean, due to the lack of experienced player, he might have to go back to that style of play where we do the counter-attacking play. In that kind of play, Ilanga is very good because he's like a sportsman who just wants to run if you give the free ground. So, but now in United with Erik ten Hag, we are playing totally different football as compared to Ole and Ragnick. So, I think he will be very good for a team who plays more like attacking. The straight. Counter-attacking football, and especially for the mid-table teams, he would be. I think he can even perform really well, and maybe in some time of next season, we may be he may make us think like whether we should have sold him or kept him.
Well, they said his move broke down, didn't they, to Everton because he didn't think he'd suit the style. Where I was a little bit confused about that because Everton, the way they play under Sean Dyche, is all about the wingers and getting crosses in. I know he's not necessarily that kind of prototype, but the counter attacks as well, like the way they usually will be. I thought they could have been used in a similar way with Langer, but Nottingham Forest is still a good deal. He'll add quality to that team. Like it's not as if he wouldn't fit in that team. So it's a good deal for them, good deal for us, and yeah, I'm happy with it, man. I think it was about time. They're the kind of players that you need to just be ruthless with and cutthroat and just be like, look, 15, 20 million adds it all into the pot, doesn't it, Sam?
We've I know who is Aaron Gregory likes Charlie Savage, and he's gone to Reading as well. Which is an interesting move. Obviously, Ten Hag probably thought, I can't guarantee this guy first team football, and I don't want to loan him, don't want to stunt his career. But apparently, we've got a buyback on him and a first refusal. So if he does turn out to be some sort of quality, we can get him back. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, it's sad to see him go because I thought he had something potentially, but clearly Ten Hag has gone out of this crop of midfielders. Kobe Mainu is the guy.
Go.
Because Iqbal's gone, Savage is gone, Fred's probably going to go, so like he's clearly gone. Kobe Mainu's the one that's going to play, so yeah, it's interesting to see.
Just had a Romano as well. Unless just sent contract signed to United. Tell us deal done and sealed. So that's definitely confirmed now, which is nice because we need these sealed. And we start adding all these up, lads, like Dan was mentioning before. 35 to 40 million for both Henderson and Langor. Fred, 15, 20 million, depending on how that goes. 10 million for Tellers and Bailly, potentially nearly 50 million pound there in sales, potentially a bit more. That is the majority for the Højlund deal. Now, the Højlund deal in itself, Romano tweeted today saying United plan remains the same. Bid for Rasmus Højlund soon to avoid PSG hijack. As revealed yesterday, PSG are speaking to the players' camp. Man United agreed terms with Højlund and speaking to Atlanta. Are any of you worried at all about PSG coming in and potentially sweeping this deal? And again, question for the chat.
I don't know why PSG are coming in for him. I don't understand why. I don't understand what it is. Why what is he gonna do? Like, what is he playing? Like,
Messi. Well, it's basically, in a nutshell, I'll try not to spend too long on this, but PSG are changing their setup in terms of how they move in the market. You know that yourself, don't you?
Yeah.
Similar to how Real Madrid are doing it, because you can't compete with the state ownership clubs now. It's all about buying these young prodigies and bringing them into the team and building it up. And they want to do that around Mbappe. But Mbappe's already said, "I want to fucking leave."
Well, they just recalled that Xavi Simons, didn't they? Who I rate very highly, but then they've loaned him out again to Leipzig, which is a weird decision.
But they bought what's his name? They've got some really young talents. Ugarte they brought in, and it was a couple more.
Lisbon. Yeah, I like if they see something in him, then fair enough, I guess. But nobody else has come in for Højlund, have they? Like I've not seen any reports. We are the only ones interested in him. So it's a weird move from PSG to go. It's like they just went, "Oh, United are interested in him. Oh, fuck it, let's have a cheeky bid and see what happens." Like it's a weird one for me.
Well, apparently they need to sell players first as well, which is why we're more likely to get the deal done because we're more advanced with it. Rasmus is a massive United fan. He's
same agency as Ten Hag as well.
Same agency as Ten Hag. Yeah. He literally follows all the United players already. Like he watches fan channels and stuff. Like he's a massive United fan.
If you're watching Rasmus.
I know. Oh man, imagine! Oh my god, a show with Rasmus would be unbelievable. Should we get into some comments, Sam, before we do King of the Hill? Return of King of the Hill, by the way. So make sure you stick around for that.
Yeah, I don't know if Dan wanted to say something on it because I feel like I
interrupted Dan.
Him, but if you want to say something, Dan.
Yeah, I think with the Højlund deal, I think I still don't believe that the PSG are really interested on him. I think it could be somewhere from this news can be generated from somewhere from the Atlanta side to push the price of that deal. But if you see from a United side, if they'll be talking to the representatives from Højlund and they'll be like, keep that deal on hold. We are just getting money from that Ilanga deal. Just getting the money. Just wait here.
We're almost there. Just need to sell Henderson now, and then the pot's going up.
By the way, fuck Nottingham Forest for trying to loan Henderson again. Just fucking buy him, mate. Like, I'm not doing this loan shit again. Just buy the guy or not.
We need to start doing that to put out there that we're not mugs, that we won't just do that because they're like, can we loan him again? And you do it again, you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you idiot.
Just buy him. Anyways, comments. Brian Casey, if any of those players are going, they need to be happening now so we have time to replace them. Otherwise, we won't be in a position to go. Yeah. Amy Rocks in the chat. Long time no see, Amy. She's a real Reds Ultra as well. How do you all, you wonderful Devils? Glow Man United Glazers out. Absolutely. And everybody's saying hi to Amy. It's good to see Amy in the chat. Yes. JG Comps. I don't know you, but I've not seen you before, but welcome. I'm really excited for tomorrow considering it seems like you guys haven't really fielded your main players during pre-season. Yeah, I think a lot of the main guys have been off on holiday up until now. I think the sort of the only guys have been like Sandro, Varane, Wan-Bissaka and Mount. I think they're the only guys who've sort of been in the team, but all the big guns will be back tomorrow, I imagine. Luman, Grey 100, greetings from me. Nice to see you, Luman. Grey, Onana has to play tomorrow. He's just so outrageous compared to David De Gea. The lads need to get used to the new style of play. Yeah, I'd love to see that. Brian Case is saying Højlund to replace Mbappe, laughing emoji. I mean, that'd be funny. Or replacing Messi, bit of a downgrade either way. Yeah. Aaron, I'd be gutted if PSG beat us to him, to be honest. Yeah, that'd be a bit irritating that we spent all this time.
I wouldn't. No, he said I wouldn't be gutted.
Oh, would he?
If PSG.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. And if you're watching Rasmus, I'm only joking. You're welcome at Old Trafford.
Yeah. I can't wait to see him. That's another exciting one I can't wait to see. And whilst we're on the topics, a striker, I've had the perfect segue for each topic here. It's great. King of the Hill has returned. I don't know if any of you guys who are currently in the chat saw the first part. We started low, if you will, or some of our worst strikers, let's just say, competed against each other and climbed up the tournament tree. So the ones we've got from last time, the first kind of round we've got here, we had, I think it was Weghorst versus Falcao, and Weghorst advanced, and then we had Makeda versus I can't remember who it was. Who was it? Versus someone else, can't remember off the top of my head. But they advanced basically, Makeda versus Weghorst. Now, with Weghorst, we know tried his heart out when he was here, only scored, a couple of goals, won a League Cup, sacrificed himself. But Makeda, as we discussed before, lad, started his career off United with a bang, scored a dramatic last-minute winner against Aston Villa on his debut, which was a really important goal, but then kind of failed to push on and just scored 5 goals in 36 games for the club. So, who advances and why? And again, question to the chat, who would you put through in this King of the Hill?
I would go with Makeda because
Oh,
he has given us some.
Sorry,
crucial,
I didn't realize we were putting the picture up. Sorry, I'm a bit behind. Okay, picture is up now. We're good.
Okay, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go on.
So I think to me, I think Makeda is the player to go on because he has given us a lot of like at one point he was called the super sub because whenever he comes on, he'll you know that he's gonna score goals, but same has been missing from Vegas. So yeah, the moments have been missing from Vegas.
Sam, I know you was pushing for Makeda last time.
Makeda's won us a league. Vegas has like not even scored a goal, so. Easy.
Okay.
Makeda.
Well, again, it is up to the chat. So, can we put a poll out if possible?
Right, let me end this poll. The Onana poll that I put out. So I said, will we see Onana playing the game tomorrow? 80% said yes, we'll see him. 20% said no, too early. And there was 45 votes on that. So let's put a poll. I apologise to people who hate my typing, but I've got to put the poll in. So.
Do you know what though? I can never hear it when we're just speaking. I can never ever hear it.
On a Discord, it suppresses any outside noise, so you don't hear it. But everybody, I just get comments every fucking video. There we go.
Why are you typing?
Can we get rid of the typing sound? Right, there we go. Makeda, Vegas in the poll. Get your votes in.
Yeah.
If anybody votes for Vegas, then you're fucking. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. But you guys get your say, so... And let us know what you think about the graphic as well. It's quite a nice graphic, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wonder who done that.
Nick's patting himself on the back there. Aaron Gregory saying Makeda is won as the league. Brian Casey saying Makeda has to go through. Aaron, fuck off, Aaron.
33% for Vegas so far, though. 29. 71% for Makeda.
All right, everybody's coming for me in the chat now. Aaron's put, what's that annoying typing sound? Brian Case said, typing's not as bad as leaving an important sound out during editing. Yeah, fuck off, Brian.
Oh, nice.
You bunch of bastards.
I like it.
You bunch of bastards.
Going for you.
Yeah, we're on 71% for Makeda at the minute.
We've got
9 votes. There's 90 people in the chat, so 10 of you need to get your votes in. Get it on.
Yeah. That's my brain trying to do this chat stuff. Yeah, we'll give it 10, 15 more seconds to get your votes in. And whoever you guys have decided, that is who we will advance in the tournament. Next up, when we go into it, it's Forlan versus Welbeck. So that's going to be an interesting one. Let's give it 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. So, who advances, Sam?
Well, it's Makeda, obviously. 77% of the vote. So
very nice.
Brian Case saying the 22% need their head checked. Yeah, absolutely.
Someone sat there like that now behind the thing. Right, so Makeda advances. Diego Forlan versus Danny Welbeck. Forlan struggled at Manchester United in comparison to his career at Villarreal and Atletico Madrid. Just scored 17 times in 98 games after signing for £7 million in 2002. Danny Welbeck progressed, as we know, through the youth system at Manchester United, made his debut in 2008, went on to score 29 goals in 142 games before making the £16 million move to Arsenal in 2014. Who wins this round and why? Lads?
Go on, Dan.
It's going to be a tough one because both of them were not that good for us.
Are you talking about Danny Welbeck? He's not that good, Dan. Are you? What are you doing here?
Sam's just a super fan. That's all it is.
I love Danny Welbeck.
But even the goal scoring record's not that far away, to be honest.
With Welbeck is I liked him more, like if I compare the playing style, his abilities, I like him more out of Manchester United when he went from Manchester United and then when he was here.
Yeah.
But like both of them are like very close if it comes to that point. But I think still Danny Welbeck is the man to go because Forlan in his whole career, this United point was the low.
The worst.
Yeah. I think Danny Welbeck.
Interesting. Sam, you're up.
Danny Welbeck all day. Scored at the Bernabeu. Absolute legend. Forlan, I like Forlan. We still sing his name like because of the 2 goals in Liverpool, but he took so long to start scoring. It was like I think it was like a record 28 games or something ridiculous. Like it was just.
Just to emphasise as well for people who are watching, they may just watch and not realise the concept of it. It's for Manchester United, so it's not who's a better player because obviously Diego Forlan better. for Manchester United specifically.
Yeah.
But the lads have had to say. What are the people saying?
The chat. Should we give him like 10 more seconds and then I'll end it? Yeah. But it looks like a landslide for Danny Welbeck so far.
Even more so than the Makeda deal, right? Mbappe's in the chat.
Kylian Mbappe's in the chat. You heard us talking about him. Mate. He heard us. His ears were burning. Brian Casey, Welbeck all day could still do a job for us today. I won't go that far, Brian, but yeah, I'm with you. Aaron Gregory, that guy Welbs, and then love Forlan for what he did after United. Yeah, exactly. Was it Villarreal he was really good for?
Yeah, and Atletico Madrid as well.
He's very good for them. Spanish league, he was just great, wasn't he? He was just fantastic.
Yeah.
Right, end of the poll.
Yeah.
So
what we're saying?
Danny Welbeck, 78% of the vote.
78%. Danny Welbeck advances. You made Sam's Friday night with that.
Absolutely.
And then the last one from the tournament as well. We had Louis Saha who advanced and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Now Saha suffered from multiple injuries, was largely a backup during his 5 seasons at the club, but he did score 42 times in 124 games and helped the club to 2 Premier League titles. And was a deadly player. Like, if you just watch the player, forget stats, forget all that. He was a really, really good striker, quick, skillful, great finisher. But then Zlatan equally arrived at United in his mid-30s. People thought his best days were behind him. Impressed in his first season in England, scored 28 times in 46 games, had a serious knee injury, which kind of shortened his time at the club, but scored multiple important goals. Obviously, the one in the final as well. Was a leader and was one of our better signings post-Fergie. So, who you going for? This one's a little bit tougher, lads. Who are you going for this?
Gonna be like, if you see the scenarios when they came to the club, when Ibrahimovic came, we were in a dire need of a striker. He did well, but he was not involved that much. I mean, maybe hardly 30 to 40 games in the Premier League, if I'm not wrong, and scored in half of those games. Mm-hmm. And Luis Saha, it's gonna be very tough because he has also been he has been in that phase where we had goal scorers, but still he scored a lot of goals. So
it's hard, isn't it? I'll be interested to see what the chat go with on this one. I'm not casting my vote just yet. Sam, do you want to have your say on this?
I think if you look to them as just players, obviously Zlatan stands out as the player. Like, for what he's done in his career, the trophies he's won, the places he's been, like, he's done it all everywhere. For United, I thought he was good. He was really good. Injury sort of set him back a bit, and he didn't win a lot for us. Where we were kind of in a period where United weren't at their greatest. Where Saha came in, was he injury prone? Absolutely, but he won big trophies with us. He scored important goals, and he was deadly striker for United. Zlatan, he scored some goals, but a lot of them weren't amazing. There was a couple of decent goals, but I think for United, I'd have to go with Zaha. But that's not to take away from Zlatan. Like, Zlatan is ridiculous human being and a great player. I just wish, again, another one of those strikers I wish we would have got in their prime, because I think he would have been one of our best. I think he might have been one of the best ever for United if we got him in his prime. Same with Cavani. Like, those two in their prime, I would have loved to have seen, but it's just a shame. But for me, it's Saha. But I understand if anybody wants to vote for Zlatan, I wouldn't.
Even I will go with Saha. So because
we're both going for Zaha. Okay.
Yeah. Zlatan, maybe if he would have been involved in more goals, he could have gone with him maybe 60 goals, 50, 60 games. But I think with that, only the positive thing from Saha's side is that he was in that phase of Manchester United career where you had the likes of Rooney, Ronaldo, who were the goal scorers. So,
and if he wasn't there, you can only imagine maybe, and if it wasn't for injuries as well.
You have to compete with those level of players, and still you have scored a lot of goals. Then definitely he has.
Whereas last time was coming in, it was like Adrian Wayne Rooney. We didn't really have a number 9, so it's a tough one. I can't make a decision on that. Genuinely, I can't. It's a hard one. That
the vote is very, very close in the chat. So very close.
You know what? I'll go Zlatan just because you two said I'll say Zlatan. So
should we end
my vote's added to that.
Should we end the poll?
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Yeah, I think most people voted, so let's go for it.
Yeah. So Zaha only just 53%. So very, very close.
Have you seen Aaron's comment? Not to be a nerd, but Forlan got 21% and he was number 21 at Manchester United.
Nice.
Nerd.
Brian Casey. So Welbeck is 1% better than Makeda. Apparently, according to the votes on you guys, yeah. For United, has to be Zaha. Different generations may not remember Zaha. Yeah, exactly. Vince is in the chat. Shout out to Vince. How's it going, mate? I hope you're well.
Yeah, I do think there'd be more of a recency bias when the more obviously players play frequently. Like I've always watched Manchester United, but I've watched them a much close and analytical perspective over the past, kind of 5 to 6 years or whatever you want to call it. So Zlatan, I remember really, really well. Whereas Zaha, there was bits and bobs that I can't remember. So maybe that swayed it. I don't know, but. We have another round. Should we do the next round today? Do people want to see that? Yeah?
Let's go.
We'll go into that? Okay, right. So the new round is, and I'll let it get on the screen.
Yeah, it's on there. It's on there.
Yeah. Chicharito versus Teddy Sheringham. Now, Chicharito, very reliable striker for United during his 5 years at the club. In total, he's scored 59 times in 157 games and helped United to win 2 Premier League titles. Was the kind of Ollie 2.0 in terms of being a super sub, but was very important in certain situations. Teddy Sheringham, of course, scored the equaliser and assisted the winner against Bayern Munich at the Camp Nou to win Manchester United the treble, and scored in the FA Cup final as well. So obviously Sheringham rightfully takes his place on this list. He scored 47 goals for us. So Hernandez has scored more, but Sheringham's goals held more importance in that regard. So I think I know who people lean to more, but a little bit of an argument there, let's say. Lads?
The vote's really close already. It's very close.
Yeah.
Already.
To be honest, I have not seen, I have not known about Sheringham much.
Yeah, that's fair.
To talk about Chicharito, I think he looked at the beginning. He looked a very promising player who can, reach a very high level. But when he moved from United, his, that level was coming down as the days passed by. So when he went to Real Madrid for a loan deal, after that, I think he has been like a normal, consistent player, not the player he was supposed to be. Like the potential was really high, the guest potential, but he didn't live up to that level. In that case, I will let you guys to decide because I'm not sure about Sheringham.
I like it. There's a lot of good analysis, especially in the chat as well. I like the tough ones.
I think just because of the treble, it has to be Sheringham. Like it has
to be importance to goals.
He's so important to United's treble winning season, and especially in the Champions League, like that goal and the assist. It has to be him. I do want to say on Chicharito, like I love Chicharito. Like honest to God, he was one of my favourites. Like he was the Ollie of the new generation, like coming off the bench, scoring important goals, and he was such a likable guy as well. Like he came across really well. Fergie loved him, the fans loved him. Like I thought he was fantastic. So I really like Chicharito, but in terms of importance for United, it has to be Sheringham.
Yeah, and again, like Dan said before, with the kind of group of strikers that was there when Sheringham was there, you had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Dwight York, Andy Cole. So it's a lot of strikers to compete with there, but I would probably lean towards Sheringham, my personal opinion. What are the chat saying?
Aaron saying this is a tough one. Yeah, that's what it is. Vince Bullock, Sheringham's my hero of the legends. Brian Casey, for purely impact United shirt, Teddy, he was vital in the treble, absolutely. Aaron saying going Teddy just for the treble. Aaron Gregory, plus I've got him on the back of my 99 home shirt, so that sways it. There you go. Love the fact that Hernandez offered to play for United for free in the last season when we needed a striker. Did he do that? I didn't know that. That's quite cool. Vince Bullock, we Sheringham, he did a lot of the hard work. He got to the final FA Cup, Champions League, and Ollie gets all the credit. I think Ollie gets a lot of credit because there was that famous commentary line and Solskjaer has won it. So that's what he's remembered for because he got the second goal.
I bet he's pissed off at that, isn't he, Sheringham? Really, when he looks back at it, I bet he's like, I don't get mentioned nowhere near as Ollie.
Vince, the Real Reds have a Facebook group. We've got a Facebook page. Just search Real Reds Talk and you'll find it. Yeah, we've got a Facebook page. Brian Casey, Colin York, 9 and 19. Teddy and Ollie, 10 and 20. Yeah. So let's end the poll. Let's see what we got. I think it's pretty much a landslide, but we'll find out. Sheringham, 78%. Sheringham.
Like it. So Teddy Sheringham advances. Please do leave a like on the video for us, guys, if you haven't already. I appreciate these new people kind of coming into the chat. So leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. This is King of the Hill Part 2. We've already done Part 1. I think it was last week. And if you do like this kind of content and you enjoy it, let us know. We'll do midfielders, goalkeepers, centre-backs, and we'll really go into depth about it. So big up to everyone who's new in the channel. Are we ready for the next one?
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah. So this one's a bit easier. I can see exactly where people are going, but there was a certain striker. I don't know how to describe it. When I was doing this, there was an element where I had to get similar level or at least a little bit close to it. But we have Dwight York versus Carlos Tevez. Dwight York signed by Manchester United, £12.6 million in '98. Didn't let his huge price tag affect him. He netted 30 goals in his first season, being one of the most important players in United's success that season. Forging a sensational strike partnership with another player on this list, York, and was pivotal again in the historic treble. And what a lot of people don't know is about Dwight York. If you look at his Champions League record in that season when we won the treble, I'd advise anyone to go check it if you haven't seen it. It's incredible. The assists and goals is right up there. So in terms of contributions, unbelievable.
People, I know a lot of people speak on like how Andy Cole is like severely underrated. Like he never gets the flowers he's due. Andy Cole, like for the strike, like he was no, but I'm talking about Andy Cole for now.
All right.
And he was like he was the closest person to get to Shearer's record, wasn't he?
He was 184 goals, I think. Yeah. Andy Cole scored in the Prem.
So like it's fantastic. And then people say that, but like Dwight York is, like you said, the Champions League, he was fucking lethal.
Phenomenal.
Like purely lethal, man. And that partnership.
And them two together.
Yeah, the partnership was unbelievable. And again, people think, oh, like players, they need to get along, they need to gel. These two guys did like each other. Andy Cole, Dwight York did like each other, did get on, but they one of the most deadliest partnerships in the world.
Yeah.
Tevez is a great player, fantastic player, dogged, determined. What it was like a dog chasing a ball, like just would not let it go.
One of the best players on a match day as well.
Aggressive, didn't train at all. Apparently, he said it. Rio was it Rio? He said didn't train at all, but then on match day was unstoppable. Ended a little bit sourly, going to City and the welcome to Manchester United. So that leaves a bit of a sour taste in my mouth, if I'm honest. It does. So I will go with York just because of that. But I won't deny how good Tevez was, because he was. Tevez, Ronaldo and Rooney were just so good. So good.
Oh, that front three was unbelievable, mate. He got 34 goals in 2 seasons, Tevez, before joining Manchester City in 2009. Dan, would you second them comments from Sam?
Almost the same comments. Because when I start watching football and when I started watching Manchester United, and these 3 players, United had Rooney, Ronaldo, and Tevez. This trio was so deadly, and it like whenever they start a game, you know that we are going to win this game. So that's how effective they were all together when they played. But then you are comparing with York, who at that time itself costed United somewhere around 13 million pounds. So that era itself, he was so costly. So that in itself defines his, his abilities. So if you compare the goals, York has scored, more games per goals as compared to Tevez. So I think at this moment I will go with York.
Yeah, and Andy York, I was going to say that.
Yeah. I'll read a couple of chats. Brian Casey saying York. Aaron saying no nerdy facts with this one. Sorry, guys. Sort it out, Aaron. Sort it out.
Yeah, relying on you.
Slapping with that RIP Fergie sign. Aaron Cracky. Shout Sam, Tevez broke my heart. I used to love in the front three, which is something else. Yeah, I'm the same.
Unbelievable.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
Ryan Casey, one of the best goals I've ever seen in Champions League was York and Cole with 1-touch passes against Barca. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, the dummies goals and everything. Beautiful.
All right, let's end the poll, shall we? It is an absolute landslide for Dwight York, 92%.
92, so there was 7% who voted for Tevez. Yeah, interesting.
So I think the fact that he left and went to City has fucked a lot of people off.
Of course,
not denying he's a great player. He was a fantastic player, but that's all.
So York advances in that one, and don't forget this is part 2. It's gonna be part 3, and then
I hate this one, by the way. I fucking hate this one.
We're gonna really get into it, but after this, you've still got Cantona, Wayne Rooney, all the other ones. But it's Ruud van Nistelrooy. Like that's where it starts getting really, really tough. So this is just part 2. Part 3 is coming. That'll probably be next week at some point. So keep an eye out for that. Right, this one. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer versus Andy Cole.
Aaron said he's not voted on this one.
The babyface assassin, of course, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer scored the winner, the biggest goal in our career, in United's history. Always pots up at key moments for Manchester United. Scored 126 goals. Then you got Andy Cole, who signed for a British record, £7 million from Newcastle in January '95. In his time at United, had a couple of issues with like leg breaks, and I think he had a little thing with Teddy Sheringham, we were just talking about. But then he was still a consistent scorer for us, played a vital part, again, in shaping United's history, especially in the treble-winning season, and scored 121 goals. So, Andy Cole or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, lads?
I hate this.
I'd love to see the chat put on this as well.
Like this is like picking your favourite kid, isn't it? Like this is just like, who's your favourite child? Pick one, and you're like, fuck me, because
they're both deadly strikers. I don't know why Ole doesn't get spoken about more in that, because when I've gone back and watched clips, he was killer in front of goal.
I think because Ole didn't start a lot of games, whereas Andy Cole was like, he started a lot. Like when it was York and Cole, he started pretty much every game, whereas Ole was the one you bring on, and he always got a goal. He always got that. And then you just found when he started, he didn't play as well for some reason, and that's why he ended like. I think Fergie said to him, I wish you weren't so good off the bench, because I have to do it because you're so good. And when I start you, it doesn't happen.
Competition you need, though, right?
It's so difficult. Like, because I feel like Ollie has his moment, and rightfully so, for the treble win. Like, he scored that treble win, and his name will go down in history for the rest of United time. Like, you will never forget Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, ever. Yeah. Because that line, Ollie and Solskjaer has done it.
Solskjaer.
It'll live in forever. Andy Cole, I feel like he doesn't get his flowers enough. I really don't. Definitely I feel like he deserves more respect than he gets.
Do you know why, though? I think he doesn't get his flowers as much because after like 2000, his career completely declined. Yeah. So people remember things that are closer, don't they, rather than
I understand.
That's further away.
But I love them both dearly, and if I saw them in the street, I'd run over to him immediately and want to talk to him and give him a hug and stuff, because they're my childhood strikers, though. Like, I grew up with these two guys. I feel like I have to give it to Andy Cole just because I feel like he doesn't get enough respect in general, whereas Ollie will have this moment that everybody, even if you're a casual United fan, you remember the treble and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer winning thing. I think if you're a casual fan, you don't realise how good Andy Cole was, because he was fucking incredible. So I've got to go.
And obviously, he was starting ahead of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well, wasn't he, Dan? So... Dan, what are you going for, mate?
It's gonna be tough because both of them have it's head-to-head impact on the club, but then that Tosker goal that stands out. So I would go with Ole.
Okay, nice. I thought he was going to expand on that point then. Apologies. Evening to Prabhav. Prabhav, you're joining late. What's going on?
You have to send out a search party for you, Prab. Come on, mate.
I know. Everyone. We're just going to design merch that's got everybody's faces.
Do you know what we're going to do? Basically. I should do it at the beginning of every show for the first 5 minutes. Just give it a bit of time, and then we'll have like a register, like at school, and we'll just go like Brian. Yeah, right,
Mr. Brian. Prab. Casey.
Yeah, he's here, and we'll do that, and then we'll make sure everybody's here. Nick, who are you picking?
I would go Andy Cole, just simply because he was starting ahead of him. The goal scoring records. You have the immortal moments with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but Andy Cole had his moments as well in big games. So yeah, Andy Cole for me.
Yeah, to be honest, I think when they were playing together, I mean, when they were both together in the club at that time, it was like good for the club, because when one player was down, the other was kicking goals, and when the other was down and the other was kicking goals. So it worked out well for the club as on the whole.
Just competition. You think about it, every time, like we spoke about Tevez there, at that time when you had Rooney, Tevez, Ronaldo, and then you talk about Berbatov at times as well, Louis Saha, like competition. Now, we've not even got a striker. We've literally not got one.
Well, last season, we had Anthony Martial, who couldn't fucking get fit and couldn't get a thing. Yeah. We had Weghorst, who couldn't score if his life depended on it. And then Rashford, who's not really a striker.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it? Yeah. And Ronaldo, who's kicking and screaming when he left and hardly played. So, mental. What are the votes saying?
Ended the poll. Cole, 64%. So
close one. Cole. So it's not too far away. It's closer than I thought it'd be, to be fair. So, out of the ones that had advanced from King of the Hill, and we will revisit this, but we're going to do a next kind of bracket after it, where they talk about Rooney, Cantona, Van Nistelrooy. That's when I'm really excited for that one. Can't wait to do it. But who have advanced. So Makeda, Welbeck, Saha, Sheringham, York, and Andy Cole. So I will mix them up in the next one, and then we'll add some more ones to it as well. So if you've enjoyed it, please do leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around these parts. We appreciate every single one of you guys who have been in the chat, constantly interacting. We do this because of you lot. So yeah, thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Hope you all have a lovely weekend as well. And if the other lads have anything else they want to add on to that,
no, go check out the members videos if you haven't, if you're a member, and if you'd like to join, the link is in the bio, and go check out. There will be a new one. Oh no, it won't be a members video, it'll be for all of you on Kobe Mania. So that is coming soon. That will be out this weekend, so keep your eye out for that. Get the notification bell on, and yeah, go check us out on socials. We'd appreciate it. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. All three of us, we all run the different respective bits, so go check that out.
The pillars we are, that's what they call us.
And also, Shah Sam is there with get your capybaras in the chat. Get them ready.
We'll get them
ready. But Dan,
get
sorry.
ready.
Sorry, Dan.
Yeah, also get your Fantasy Premier League started and set up your team. And soon we'll be posting out the code, the league code. Then you can join, and then Nick, you can continue. Who the winner can get.
Yeah, the winner, I've still not contacted us from the last one. Wins a random, I find it hard to say, a random retro jersey. Maybe make it a Man United one because it is a Man United theme. So make sure you sign up to that, and we'll drop the code for the league maybe within the next couple of weeks. So yeah, get your capybaras in if you are a member. If you're not a member, just type capybara, and we will see you out, as we always see you out, with this tune.
Capybara, 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 capybara,
I can't believe this is a thing now.
capybara, capybara, capybara,
Remix.
Peace, everybody.
In a bit.
You're